Hello, YouTubers. This is Brandon back again with another DIY um, on a accumulator or receiver dryer. We're gonna call it a receiver dryer for this video. That's also, called a accumulator. It's for a '97 Nissan Maxima. I would I would assume that this video. Should also include probably 95 through, I believe it's 99 Nissan Maximas. So, yeah. But anyway, to get right to it, one day I was rolling and AC stopped working. I wasn't getting any cold air. So I was like, okay, must be low on Freon. Tried the Freon. For some reason, I guess it was something with the pressure. And also it would not take all of the Freon. I hooked my low and high. Where is it? Yeah, my high lines up, and it would not take all of the Freon. So I was like, weird. So for some reason, I decided to replace the compressor. I had only had the compressor on this car for probably about 6 years, so I replaced it. You can see there it's pretty much brand new. And so put everything back together, put Freon in it, still the same thing. Would not take all the Freon and whatnot, blah blah blah. So left it alone for 2 months, and finally this week I was like, you know what, let me get out here and get back to it, try to figure out what's going on. So keep in mind, I had already ordered a receiver dryer from Amazon. It had just been sitting in my closet. So I looked, came across it, looked at it. I was like, let me get out here and try to, figure out what's wrong. So got out here, took the receiver dryer off. There it is right there. It's a long cylinder type tube. Actually, I can show you what it looks like. Give me just a sec. This is what it looks like. So you have, this one is a universal one, but this did not work for this car. I ordered this one from Amazon and it ended up not working. This is the one that was sitting in the closet. So this is a universal one. So you can either put the switch, let me show you, that switch right there, the little switch, I don't know what it's called, but the little switch right there, it gives you the option of putting it on this side or putting it on this side. Because if you put it on this side, you're gonna have less room to work with the hole, the part that goes off in the accumulator, and then right here, this little hole to screw it down. If you put it right here, so it's better to move it to the other side, so you can have room for the 2 lines that go into the receiver dryer. But yeah, I would suggest do not get the universal one. I'm sorry, it's a little windy out here, but I would suggest not getting the universal ones, because if you look close, I tried to kind of alternate or adjust this one to where the bigger holes can fit on this end and the smaller hole can go on this end, but that didn't work that way. So I just went ahead and bought one from O'Reilly's, and so that is the one that you see on there now. So to get it out of here, I would suggest taking off this screw that goes to this little short line. That's a 10 millimeter. All of these are 10 millimeters. This 10 millimeter, and then also right here below the relay box, there's another 10 millimeter. And then also right there, I'm not going to connect that because it's a bastard to get to, but also you need to unscrew that one. And then also it's a 10 millimeters on both of these lines. This is going in, this is going out. I'll do both of these, take it out, switch it out. Make sure, please make sure that your rubber gaskets or seals, they look something like this. Make sure they are in place. If not, once the car builds up enough pressure in the AC system, then you will hear leaks. You will hear a hissing leak, an air leak, you know, and possibly if you have Freon, you will lose all your Freon. I know from experience. So, and once you undo these two lines, disconnect your little connector right here, and then, you know, bring it up out of here, and you will take this connector off and put it on your new receiver dryer. And then I guess once you do that, you put it back in there. Mount this first. I'm sorry, back up. You will put this line, you will already put this line on your receiver dryer. So we're going to use this one for example. You already put that smaller line, the shorter line, on the receiver dryer, and then you would lower it, attached to the mount. You know, this part right here is the mount. You see it goes down and holds the receiver dryer around. It's like has a grip on it. You will, you know, lower that down and put your your 10 millimeter bolt right there. And then once you have this smaller line on there on the receiver dryer, then you can adjust. These are aluminum, but so I wouldn't suggest adjusting them, you know, too much, but you can adjust it enough to where you can line it up with, you know, so you can mount it back on the condenser. But yeah, so once you connect that line, then you can kind of move and, you know, don't twist, but, you know, adjust this line, you know, enough to where you need it. And then you can put the connector back on. I would also suggest putting this on while you have it out, because as you should see, there's not very much room to grab the little connector, other end part of it, and, you know, put it back on there while it's off in the car. So I would suggest moving it out of the car. I would suggest getting it out of the car and putting it on then. So where are we at? Yeah, so back to what I was saying is once you know, mount this, then you adjust this and put your 10 millimeter, you know, nut back on, and, you know, got everything. Put your connector back and make sure your gaskets or seals, O-rings, whatever you want to call it, are back in place. And make sure everything is tight, and, you know, check your bolts and all of that. And so once everything is tight, go back, because I'm pretty sure if once you unloosen that, you've lost your Freon, because part of your Freon is already at the bottom of this. Whatever Freon you had in the car or in the system is at the bottom of this. That's why I turned this upside down. You can't see that. Well, yeah, you can. I turned it upside down, and I turned this upside down and it just came out. But yeah, once you do that, you put your Freon back in, and just so, you know, you can kind of see, let me get my my thermal gun. I got my thermal gun here. And you see I had, because it's been sitting up for a while, I got my battery cables. So we're gonna start her up so y'all can actually see that it's actually blowing cold. Okay. So you can hear the air. So see. So right now I guess it's about 50 something degrees outside. So we're gonna turn it towards the vent. 53, it's blowing 53, 52, 51. So it's blowing pretty cold. See, I have it on cold. You got your vents. It's blowing but fairly, I think pretty cold. Oh, 47. We got that vent over there blowing. And yeah, so it's blowing pretty cold. So I know this wasn't the best video. I wish I could have, shown y'all as I was mounting it, but I did the best that I could. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Otherwise, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later on the next video.